Joel was such an amazing person, and we all have amazing things to say. And
Joel had a wonderful sense of humor, generous to a fault.
He was a person of conviction. If he felt strongly about anything, he would tell you about it.
he just brought such glamour to human rights. I knew Joel for a number of years. The time that I joined EcoHerc, he was leaving EcoHerc. The time that AMSHA was being formed, I remember us sitting in some hotel in Cape Town, and we were brainstorming around the name.
Within a very, 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 very short space of time, AMSHA had become a household name across the continent and also across the globe. And it was a space that he was able to fill. And a part of it has a lot to do with Joel's charm and being able to go out there and persuade people about the vision of what AMSHA was to become. You would find Joel sitting on his couch with his laptop on one side and his iPhone on one side. The iPhone would be beeping for all sorts of things, and he would be busy sending out his proposals and communicating and contacting with partners. What we didn't know, but we're all finding out now, that he has assembled a virtual team. So even before there was staff at AMSHA or people who were there to do the work, he was contacting all of us, asking for various pieces of advice. We were doing work for AMSHA, but we were not getting paid for AMSHA because we didn't even know that we were employed.
Joel was a complex person, there's no denying that. And in very good ways, you know. He was a person of conviction. If he felt strongly about anything, he would tell you about it. Joel became my friend. It was difficult not to be friends with Joel because, you know, they say a friend sees things in you that you don't see in yourself and helps you be the best that you can be, and that was what Joel was to me in many respects.
In April 2013, and Sibongile made a bit of reference to this earlier, I was in Oslo at some big international meeting linked with the Human Rights Council. And there was really intense contestation, there was intense competition and confrontation and effort by two main groups to get the Human Rights Council to make a particular decision. I was in this meeting quite alone with these politics, and I don't know how come Kene was somewhere, Joel, everyone was in some other meeting, and I was stuck in this meeting on my own and completely intimidated for articulating this particular politics. So I began to write to Kene and Joel. And there was something about my tone that very few people picked up, and Joel said, I have never heard Dawn talk like this. This is not okay. She's in trouble. Let's do something. And I think he got hold of Sibongile, he got hold of everybody. He said, rally the troops. Dawn is in trouble. And here was this person with all this that had happened, whatever tensions there had been about whatever, here was this person responding to tone and emotion. And there was something about the way Joel stepped in to care and say, this must matter. His caring shifted the relationship between Cal and AMSHA in the most fundamental way.
Joel was a complex person, there's no denying that. And in very good ways, you know.
He actually shared about his sister, how he was a father to his nephew, all of that stuff. He would always honor his mother's memory on Facebook, and and he was that type of person who really, really cared about his family.
Anyone who knew Joel will remember his dress sense, as he refused to put one fashion wrong. And if he was found to be wrong, he would immediately get very embarrassed. Joel used to like wearing moccasin shoes, but he did not like putting on lotion. And so he would have these expensive shoes and he would have these ashy ankles. And so whenever he got called out on it, he would just disappear. And you could see that you got him on that one. When we first started out, we diagnosed it as an illness because Joel would go to a 4-day meeting with 3 bags of suitcases and have to pay for extra luggage. Joel would change his clothes at lunchtime, dinner, and also when he was going out clubbing, like it was an illness. He used to get stopped at custom. And they would say, "Are you selling shoes?" And he says, "No, you can look at them. I'm not selling them. I'm wearing them."
He just brought such glamour to human rights. And yeah, you know, that when I told Joel, I was like, how can you do such depressing work with such glamour, such glitz and glamour? And it's like, Mwana, we always need to walk the red carpet, you know. Life is a catwalk. We always need to be the catwalk, regardless of where we are. And because of that, even when I was coming here, you know, like many people, like Tendai, like Terrence, I had to go home and change. And I spent 30 minutes going into my wardrobe, and every time I tried on something, I could hear Joel say, "Girl, you're not going like that to my memorial. Like, please find something else." You know, that's the presence that Joel had.
What I've learned from Joel is that do not ever be paralyzed into inaction by relentless homophobia around us. Don't get distracted. People will tell you all sorts of things, but keep your focus. Stay on the course. If your country is too small to work in, work for your continent. As we've now realized that life is too short, Africa is full of dreams and promises. Get out there, do something.
Condolences to everybody in this room, the family, and let us remember Joel for what he stood for. And as we deal with our own pain, learn so much. There's so much to learn from his life. And I hope that we can find many ways to actually bring those learnings to life. Thank you.
He's going to be missed by many. The message is being circulated around, and I think the session will be dedicated to him.
I'll remember him as a friend, as an inspiration.
He was human. He was flawed. He made mistakes too. So farewell, darling. Thank you for the laughter, the joy you brought, and for being love made visible.
Joel, rest in peace. The meaning of your life is still unfolding. Joel, rest in peace. In me, the meaning of your life is still unfolding. Joel, rest in peace. In me, the meaning of your life is still unfolding. Joel, rest in me. The meaning of your life is still unfolding. Rest in us.